So we are back and we are back on the T4's. No Porsche this week. Unfortunately, there was no video last week because I'm actually really busy. So a little while ago, I done an outer seal on this, on the sliding door. So we done the weather strip, that repair. I had to do an inner seal repair as well. And it's the whole section. And I couldn't finish it off because I went mobile to do that one. So he's brought it here so I can finish those little bits off. He also wants me to do the outer seal on the passenger side as well to finish that whole side off. And then on this side, we've got outer seal, inner seal, all the way down. So front step to the rear. That's what this is in for. And also he wants me to get all the MOT work done so we can get it through an MOT. So quite a bit of work on this one. And unfortunately, I may have shot myself in the foot here because I've kind of double booked myself this week. And we also have another customer, T4, Alex, so he's a lovely bloke. He dropped it off last week, Thursday, so timing belt for this one, so it's in for the cam belt, pump timing, an investigation for some vibration. But apart from that, it's a really nice van. But that's in for obviously some mechanical work. He asked me to have a look at some of the work for that was advisories on the MOT last year, so we're going to go through that as well. And he has got some welding, so I'm doing the outer seal on the passenger side on this one, and that's where I'm going to start on today because we're going to get Alex's van done first because there's a lot less work required on that because actually it's a really solid van and it's really good. So it's actually quite nice having a look around that one and actually going to be nice working on that one. So they should be, I say should be, straightforward repairs. Now this black one here, hopefully you don't mind me saying this, but Stewie's a lovely bloke. But it could be a nice van, but it's a lemon. He has asked if I could do sort of like just the MOT repairs. Obviously, it needs work for the MOT as well, but I'm not really happy just doing bodges, and you'll see why as we go around. But I will try and see if we can do an MOT repair. If we can, we will. If not, then it's all getting cut out and we are going to be doing it properly. But I'll let you be the judges of that. But also while we're here, the main issue this week and the first thing I want to get done. So I will be cracking on with these in a moment, but what you're going to see next is actually my red van. So I did actually meet a subscriber a little while ago when I was getting a bottle of gas. So, you know, we were just chatting away. And then when I was just about getting the van to drive off and he was just about to walk back to his truck, he was like, "Oh, I know you. Yeah, T4." So that was a bit of a surreal moment. And he actually asked me because I don't do any content on it. My red van. He's asked me about it, and because I haven't filmed on it, I don't do anything filming with it. Don't really seem to do any work on it. And actually, I was having this discussion with Matt not so long ago, and our vehicles have been neglected to take on other projects and customer vehicles. So the first thing that you're going to see now is me getting on and fixing the T4, the red one. So I do have the red one, and the issue I have at the moment, we have a pump timing issue with the idler pulley. So the actual thread that goes with the steel bolt into the aluminium head, it stripped itself out 3 years ago this summer, right? And just for as a temporary fix, because everyone was going up to Santa Pod to bug jam, I was here, I was stranded, so I was just like, right, because it happened on that morning. I literally got around the corner and it went. So bizarre. I don't know how it just went, but it did. So came back here, bodged it up, bit of lock sealant, Loctite in there, tightened it all up, got the pump timing roughly right, and it's fine. But the pump timing's out and that needs to be sorted out. But I'm not doing that yet. I'm going to wait until we get that one into the unit to do that because it needs drilling precision and I just want to do that one inside and take my time. But the issue I do have is with it not starting on the key. So let's go over to the van and have a look. Right, so let's get straight into this. Now, there is another video on here on YouTube about the ignition and all the rest of it and how to do the actual job. So I'm not actually going to show you doing the job because there's a little bugger of a screw to get in to do, which you do need a kind of like a little bit of a specialist tool to do, but that's not a problem. I'm I'm not going to bother showing you all of that, but what I'm going to do is show you another way of testing it. So he showed you in the video, I will leave it a link down below his video, but he turns it all the way on and he goes to start it, nothing happens. Okay, the ignition light's on, nothing happens. So that's what I had happen, nothing was happening. Now, I know the battery's flat, so I had the jump pack on there as well. I've also got an issue with the diesel pump timing, so it doesn't like starting straight away. Now, what I done was, to double check that it was the ignition and it wasn't just the jump pack and everything else, I've pretty much jumped it, right? So I jumped the vehicle. Basically, if you're going to do this, you need the key in the ignition because of the immobilizer. So what we're going to do is we're going to use this little bit of brown wire, right? Well, it doesn't matter what color wire you're using, but you want to connect the black to the red, which is that middle pin here to that pin there. Once you've connected them, your ignition lights will come on, and then we can try to jump start it. So let me just put you here for a moment while I try to do this. I don't know how much you're going to be able to see. And obviously when I do this, the van isn't going to start because the battery is completely flat. But there's enough life in it for the ignition to turn on. So now we just plug them two in like that. The ignition came on. The glow light's gone out. Doing it this way, a lot of stuff isn't going to work. Okay, but don't worry about that. This is just a test of the ignition. You can then get another little bit of wire and you go from this one here, which is this one here, and that's your starter. And then from there, you want to go into either this terminal below it or the one next to it, and that will turn the engine over and it will start if there's no issues. So there you go. Right, I'm now going to go ahead and have the fun part of replacing all of this. So while I do that, I'm going to show you what I've got on with the white T4, the customer's T4. So let's make a start on Alex's van. Now this is the outer sill he wanted me to have done for him, wanted me to weld it up, replace the sill, and it looks like it's just the outer sill. The inner, everything looks really solid, step looks solid, and to be fair, this is a very clean van. It's got a few spots here and there of rust. He has asked me to price up for the rear arches as well, but as you can see, this front sill, it's not that bad. And when you compare it to other vans that I've worked on, this is actually a really clean van, and it's actually worth spending the money on. So what I thought was a bit strange was I drilled these spot welds, and as soon as I started breaking through those seals, water started coming out through those seals, which I thought was a little bit strange. And then, yeah, I got the grinder out, started cutting, and as you can see, there's a lot of water. I mean, I got absolutely drenched. That was straight through. So yeah, that wasn't fun. Wasn't a great start to the day, but you know, we crack on. We've got jobs to get on with. So there was, I just thought it was a bit strange that there was a lot of water in there, and that is something that we definitely need to investigate before it goes back to the customer, so that it doesn't fill up again, to see why, where the water is coming in from. So I need to look into that. Once we do this, the inside of the sill will also get wax oil. Well, I will fill everything that I do. I always make sure that inside of the panels are always well treated. So, you know, you pay good money, you get good jobs. That's all I'm saying. But you can see there, look at the water spraying around, even though a lot of it had drained out. A lot of water sprayed out everywhere, and it was not, yeah, it just wasn't fun to start. So this job in total shouldn't have taken too long. However, because he is a subscriber of the channel, and he's travelled a long way as well to have the work done, I thought I would, you know, go above and beyond. But yeah, that whole outer sill completely full of mud and crud, and yeah, and he's actually caught this at the right time. It's a perfect time to actually get this work done, because if you leave it too long, all of that inner sill would start rotting out, and it just becomes more expensive. But as it is, outer seal, you can see that top lip. I've just tacked that on for the time being. But yeah, that gets fully welded in. Everything gets treated, get primer on it, and then when the panels get welded in, again, like I say, everything through those little wax oil holes, those little bungs. I'll take those bungs out on the inner, and we'll just wax oil it all up. But as you can see, it's all fully welded, loads of plug welds, seam welded as well, and it's actually come out looking really well. So another good job. But again, like I said, because I did quote paint as well with the customer, so we are going to do paint as well. And you know, it's, yeah, you've got to have pride in your work, haven't you? So done to the best of my abilities, I would say. So we've got some 2K epoxy primer on there, and we'll just scratch it back, you know, scuff it up. I'll put some seam sealer on it, and then we'll put some top coat on it, and that'll be it. Job done. And then we'll have to get on with the mechanical, which is where we will go next. So let's dig into the mechanical work. Right, so an update on this T4. For starters, that seal is all welded up, painted, looking good. I'll show you that in a minute. Pump timing, cam belt, everything is good, all good. We've run it up to temperature. We've checked pump timing on VCDS, and it was bang on. It fluctuates a little bit, as it will do, because obviously I'll show you now the tensioner when it's running. But yeah, that's all good. No leaks. Coolant's not leaking, holding pressure. The only thing is the customer has now said that he would like to replace and go change the tensioner and the engine mount on the top there, because that could be causing that vibration issue. I know when I had this problem on my T4, my white one, I replaced the dampener, gear, and I replaced the tensioner. I've done all of it all at once, so it's hard for me to say what exactly it was that eliminated that vibration. Now it could still be the dampener causing that vibration issue, even though it is a new one. You know, it depends on what dampener that was put on. Sometimes you can get dampeners that aren't, well, that don't really do a very good job. But no, it's unfortunately it's just going to be a process of elimination again. But it's all done, it's all good, customer's happy, and it's actually a really nice fan. And if you want to know, I did rev it up a little bit. The audio was a bit rubbish because I don't know what update they've done on the phone, but it's messed up with the audio. But I revved it up a couple of times, and it was very smoky. And the reason why it's very smoky is because it is the blue TDI, which means it has the standard injectors. And these injectors are not the Bosch ones, so it only runs 88 brake, and it doesn't have the intercooler either, which is why it's always a little bit smoky, even with pump timing spot on. So what you could do, you could put in the Bosch injectors, and then just get a nice clean map on it, give them a little bit more power, and you won't have to worry about an intercooler. You could probably get it up to maybe, give it another 10-15 brake. Not much really, but you could get it running a little bit cleaner anyway. Right, next job, we'll wait for the parts to arrive. We'll get it all sorted up. Once I've gone ahead and cleaned it all and replaced the tensioner and the engine mount, we'll then have a look underneath and see if it's fixed the problem. Oh, also, I have been doing some welding on the black one as well. Got some patches done on that. That's a long job, but I've brought it in here. I'm going to finish off this sliding step and everything along this side first before getting on with the other side. Yeah, so as you see, those standardine injectors aren't the best. The Bosch PD ones, are a slight upgrade, but you could end up spending loads of money. But yeah, I mean it is a bit smoky, but it's not horrendous. So I've put a bit of card under there just to double check, make sure that we don't have any leaks, any oil leaks or coolant leaks. What I did say, when it arrived, it did have a bit of an oil leak, quite bad actually. So I put in new sealant around the oil filler tube, a tiny bit of sealant around those O-rings. And what I also did notice, there was a bolt missing behind the dampener cover. So we put that in and we seem to have rectified all of the oil leaks as well. So happy days. Right, well those parts that I need to do the engine mount and the tensioner, they're not going to be here until next week now. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to get up to the unit, get some work done on the Porsche, hopefully get a video film for you, and I will see you next week. Thank you very much for watching. Take care, stay safe, and God bless.